Word is born. Unfortunate we drifted further apart. Left and made you upset. Decorated vet, purple heart. Dope feet first in the research, now Urkel smart. Rabbit hole too, fuck it, it's a work of art. Riding with my shorty, by God she gorgeous. Peep the score, keep the 9 on me, Bobby Portis. Fortune something, lead them to the afterlife like Doc Kevorkian. What that mean? Not important, it doesn't matter like the rock performance.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is the Eric Barber here, and today I am joined by the man of the hour, Isaac Castor. We're coming on the heels of his brand new release, Rabbit Hole 2. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm having a fucking great time. We got pretty packed house here. The night is still young. Yeah, so happy to be here for sure.
Hell yeah, man. And, you know, Rabbit Hole 2, it's got some amazing features, some amazing bars. Isaac, you know, why don't you tell me some of your inspiration behind creating Rabbit Hole 2?
Well, I just felt like, to a certain extent, we kind of got shortchanged based on, with the first release. This is the second Rabbit Hole, and we put out the first one, literally in March of 2020, so the very beginning of COVID. And we didn't get to do a release party, only got to do 2 videos, and I just feel like we kind of had unfinished business. And I also felt like my bars were getting better over time, and so I really wanted to just be like, I know a lot of people like the first one, but I was like, hey, watch this, we can do it even better. So that was definitely my inspiration to come up with the sequel.
That's awesome, man. And I really like, I mean, for one, your Rabbit Hole 2, some of the views on some of those songs, man, they're through the roof. I mean, you got some heaters on that one. Not to say, I do like the second one better. I'd say you have some amazing, you know, features. You've worked with a lot of Detroit artists. That's sort of like you got Sam B, Dango, Ronnie, Guilty, Fat Father, just to name a few. And something that I've always been curious about is, like, how do you really go about, you know, you're like, how do you really pick, like, which artist for which song, or do you even, like, build out certain songs with certain artists in mind?
For the most part, it kind of varies. For example, Vamanos Pest, track 6 on the album, I just heard that beat and I know I needed a feature, and Gypsy was the first person that came to mind, and of course he knocked it out of the park. Other collabs, like Studio Vibe, for example, it was just me and Bizarre and Foul hanging out, and we just made a song on the spot. So it can really happen a lot of ways, but yeah, I would say most of the time, if I know I'm going to want a guest on a song, I'll try to think about who's going to fit that beat and then go from there.
Hell yeah. And, you know, speaking of Foul, he produced your whole album, right? You know, how did that come out, and how do you describe your relationship with Foul?
I would say he's probably my best friend right now, honestly. We hang out so many times throughout the week, and just having somebody like that to bounce ideas off of and be able to tell you when something isn't as good as it should be and tell you got to try to fucking dig deeper, it's really beneficial. So if you're ever thinking about partnering up with a producer that you really fuck with for a one-to-one project, I would highly recommend it.
Awesome, man. And, you know, we've seen you on a lot of really awesome artists as well, you know, featuring a lot of artists. And who would you say has been your favorite artist to collaborate, and specifically, like, you featuring on one of their projects?
I would say the feature I'm most proud of probably is the one that I was on Statik Selektah's album back in 2011, Population Control. I was going under the rap name Game Boy at the time. I was a 16-year-old high school sophomore. And I'm still waiting on the placement to top that one. But shout out to my homie Statik. He played the lead single off the new album, IC, on Shade 45. So we're still in the mix. Maybe we'll get some in soon. We'll see.
I've been seeing that. So, I mean, I'm going to ask, I know it's kind of a while ago, how did that even come across? Because Statik Selektah is huge, and he's a big DJ now and all this stuff.
So I was working with a management company called A-Side Worldwide at the time. They were kind of just mentoring me on the low key and providing me with resources and shit, helped me get a bunch of free astronaut beats. They hooked me up with a 14KT track. And the track that 14KT produced, Act Right, ended up catching wind with Statik. He heard it through our mutual friend Kenza, and he played it on his show and then asked me to be on his album. We've kept in touch since then. So
that's fire, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, you mentioned that, you know, since pre-COVID to now, you've been improving your game and your pen a lot. What do you say are, the lead contributors to your rapid improvement?
I would say just focusing more on, everyone. It's a lot of people know the concept of multis, of rapping the syllables at the end of your bars, and I've been familiar with that for a while, but I really started focusing on doing more internal rhymes inside of the bar and just like trying to like almost a game of Tetris or something, just like matching colors. Like I think I saw maybe like a Royce video on Genius like 5 years ago of like the color coded the ways he was breaking down shit, and I was like, oh, that's how you fucking do it. And so definitely recommend doing that.
That's dope as hell, man. And, you know, you've already come a long way. You know, I mean, for one, starting off with Statik Selektah is a pretty big high, you know, point for you. I mean, where would you really ideally see your career maybe like 5 years from now?
Ideally, I can quit my job. That's all I really want. You know, I mean, if I can keep making the same amount of money now, I'm comfortable. Like, I just want to be able to see the world and be able to not have to give 40 hours of my time to something I don't care about. And really, that's all I can really ask for. You know, however far it goes, I'll be grateful for it, but I'm not asking for much.
Dude, isn't that all our dreams, man? Break the 9 to 5, man. Oh my gosh. So Isaac, you know, I think we're getting close to the end of the interview. If you had like any kind of encouraging words, maybe for like Detroit, anyone watching, to kind of wrap up this whole interview.
I would say, it sounds cliche, but just never give up. Like, there's been so many times where I fucking fell on my face and had terrible fucking showings in front of big crowds for opening for big acts and thought, like, okay, this is it for me. I'll never fucking make anything happen. And I just want to say, if you just continue to fucking figure out where you fit in and try to fucking support others, that love will be returned. And, yeah, just keep at it.
I love it, man. And, you know, on that note, guys, again, Isaac Castor, I gotta say, is one of the most genuine MCs in the Detroit space. I've known him for like several months now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Every time I see him, it's always, you know, friendly, cordial. He always keeps it real, man. And on that note, please stream Rabbit Hole 2 on all platforms. I'll leave a link down in the description below, along with all of his socials. Isaac, man, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you too, man.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Likewise.